Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America. And if you had any doubts that Zoran Mamdani is uniquely unqualified to be mayor of any city, let alone New York City, well, this video will end any of those doubts. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. Zoran Mamdani is maybe the worst candidate I've ever seen in my life. Ever in my life. That includes Bernie Sanders. It includes Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. It includes Ilhan Omar. It includes Rashida Tlaib. It includes Eric Swalwell. It includes Adam Schiff. Okay, that's how bad of a candidate Zoran Mamdani is. That he beats all of those people in terms of being a horrible, horrible candidate for anything. He is financially illiterate. He's economically illiterate. And the problem is that the people he's preaching to, unfortunately, and I don't mean this to be mean, they are as economically illiterate as he is or worse. So today, he's on MSNBC, and I hate when these reporters don't push back when people say something ridiculous, but they didn't. He proposes a $30 minimum wage. Let me explain to you what will happen with a $30 minimum wage in the age of AI taking people's jobs. Okay? Companies will either A, leave New York, or B, they will replace their staffs with robots. It's being done all over the country. They'll do it because they're not paying somebody with a high school education or worse $30 an hour to flip burgers. It's just not going to do it. Would you? That is not a slight on the people who do that job, but I'm going to explain something to you. Minimum wage is paid because you have minimum skills. Okay? If you want to get paid what somebody with more skills gets paid, you need more skills. That's how it works. You get paid the minimum because literally you can be replaced by any human being on the planet. That's why you get paid minimum wage. You get paid based on how easy it is to replace you at your job. That's how it works. Look at baseball players, football players. The best ones get paid a lot of money because it's harder to replace them. The easier it is to replace you, the less money you make. It's that simple. If you raise the minimum wage to $30, you think you have an affordability crisis in New York City now? The price of everything will go up the next day, the very next day. And that's for the people who don't lose their jobs to a robot. Okay, we got to pay $30 an hour. Okay, that gallon of milk is now $15. That's how it works. So then you got to raise minimum wage again. So then the price goes up again. So you raise minimum wage again. So the price goes up again. And then the dollar crashes and we go into a depression. It's like economics 101. You don't have to be a genius. I am no economic genius. This is like economics 101. This guy, he would have failed that. I want you to watch this ridiculousess and let me know what you think in the comments.
He's busy cashing, trying to get back to City Hall.
So what do you say, though, on the question of affordability? Let's just take the $30 minimum wage to the guy who owns the dry cleaner, the woman who owns the nail or hair salon, all these small businesses that you've grown up around and see on your block all the time. Say, I can't afford to pay people $30. I'm going to have to either lay people off or close my business. How do you explain that?
Well, this would be phased in over a longer period of time for small businesses, as is typically done when you're increasing the minimum wage. And what we've heard in terms of concerns are similar ones we heard when we increased the minimum wage here in New York City before. What it comes back to is the fact that today, to live in this city, you have to already be earning $30 an hour, pretty much. And so if we don't want to pay people that, we're going to lose New Yorkers. I met a man who was working for $11.99 outside of Elmhurst Hospital. He told me he commutes 2 hours every single day to get here because he lives in Pennsylvania. because you can't afford to live in New York City. So I'm going to be there standing up for small businesses. I'm going to make sure the days of bodegas being more regulated than Amazon come to an end. And I'm also going to make sure that the workers of those same small businesses can afford to stay.
So let's talk a little bit more about the threats from the White House and President Trump. I mean, he's talked about sending the National Guard because he believes the city would be lawless and unsafe under your leadership. But also more concretely, he did it on Truth Social last night as well, beyond the 60 Minutes post, threatening to withhold federal funds. We know he's already slashed the funding for that railway tunnel to New Jersey. What would be the recourse here? We know that any state, any city is dependent, in large part on federal dollars. What would you be able to do at City Hall to combat that?
We have to stop treating everything that Donald Trump says as if it is law just by virtue of the fact that he's saying it. These are threats, many of which go far beyond the actual powers of the presidency. And this is money that New Yorkers are owed. It's not money that we are hoping the president will give us. And we've seen examples across the country where governors, mayors, attorney generals have come together to file lawsuits on behalf of the people